So far, we've just been pulling resources into our library here to eventually use for background reading, and it's time to take a little step, get organized, see what we have to deal with here. So on the bottom of the screen, you might have noted that reference, preview, attached PDFs was that this was grayed out, and it notes here that there certainly are no references selected. We also have not selected a reference style. So that's something that we need to do. Right now, the bibliography, it's just an annotated bibliography. So come up to the top of your screen, and this is where a program like this really becomes fun to use, because you can select different reference styles here, and then when you link into your Word document or your manuscript, you can change and reformat without ever having to do a lot of work. So I'm going to select National Library of Medicine format here. So when I select NLM, if I look down here in my preview, now I see that it's reference number 1, and what I've selected here is this Abernathy article. And the citation, as it would appear, shows up on the bottom in my little preview window here. So if I select the pharmacist telephone interventions, you'll see that I have that reference here as well. That comes in pretty handy if you're going to do a poster presentation or you want to put something on slides. So let's just, for fun, come up and select APA style. So this is APA 6th. And you'll see that the number has gone away, and now we have the author's names and the information in a different order. So there are different ways, obviously, that publishers require you to use citations. When we move forward in our actual research and writing, there are ways to use this to help you while you're writing rather than having papers all over your desk. So author date will be really useful for your writing later on. But for now, we'll select just NLM. And we have that down here in our preview. And so the next thing I'd like to do is I'd like to add a reference manually. So on our reference choice menu, we've already become familiar with find duplicates. You can email references to people. You can send them to different places, come into PDF viewer. So this is all pretty self-explanatory. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to insert a new reference, and we'll come into a blank page. So when I'm working on hypertension and health coaching, one of the things that I will need is I'll need some epidemiological research, and I can find, kind of an oldish article, or I can find some resources online that I can pull data from. So I'm going to just come into a regular search engine over here, click out of the library, and what I did to get started was I just opened up Google and I typed hypertension incidence and prevalence. And the default first is scholarly articles. But if I scroll down, I can look at fast stats, and I can look at the actual source. So what we don't really want to do for a paper like this is, in a study like this, is we don't want to go into Medscape and get some pre-appraised research from 2014 or before. And the article that we could probably link into here is from 2015, which means the stats are from 2014 or before. But if we click into the CDC website, we actually will find more current information. So I'm going to pop in here and see that this is just the National Center for Health Statistics makes this information available online. And this is from primary reports that are you can dig into and find elsewhere on their website. But what we can do is we can select one of these reports, and then we'll go back into EndNote and enter the data into our metadata into our library. So since we're focusing on educating and coaching patients, I think the mortality data is probably not so useful for us. But if we look at prevalence and control, then it is from 2011 to 2014. So let's go ahead and click into this report and see the PDF version. All right. So key findings here, prevalence of hypertension was 29%, etc., etc. So there will be some useful statistics that we can cite in our paper from this web page. And so what we need to do is we need to figure out how we're going to cite this in our library. So the first thing to do with the CDC is to scroll down and see, boom, suggested citation. So we want to do two things. One is we want to make sure we have a stable link to this page so we can come back to it. And the other is we can take this information here under suggested citation and enter it into EndNote. So popping over to EndNote, and we can minimize our window here if this is going to work, and come over here and slide the citation up so we can see it. And then we simply type it in. There is a little trick. There's always a trick to this stuff. First, we want to come over to where we're typing in our reference, and we want to select this either as a report or a web page. It's going to change the available fields. Since we're accessing it on the web, we could say it's a web page, but in reality, we're basing this on a report. So I'm going to say report. And first we type in the author last name. So Yoon, SS. Hit enter, and each author gets his or her own line. And the year is 2015. And the title, I can come over here, I believe, and highlight it. Right click and copy. Come into EndNote. Right click, paste. There we go. Beautiful. Place published, Hyattsville, Maryland. And then we want to make sure that we get the NCHS data brief number 220. So it's not clear if that's it is a document number. There we go. NCHS. All right, and then the source. So we have the year. We need to find the publisher, the institution or the publisher. Let's make it the publisher, and we will say all right. You can also put this under institution. And if for some reason that shows up duplicated in our citation, we can always delete it. So that's the information that we have for the moment. We can also perhaps scroll up to the top of the page and take some aspect of the abstract or the introduction and paste it into our file so we know. Key findings, here we go. Key findings, I'm going to highlight this, right click, come over into EndNote, make my window a little bit larger here, then I'll scroll down. I'll find what is the abstract. This is the field where we're going to put it, paste it, and this is our summary. Now we've got a little bit more information. So now I save my reference. File, File, Save. Beautiful. And then I'll come back and I'll do one more thing. I want to come up here, there we go, and I want to copy the URL and come into my page here. Usually it's down at the bottom. Here's the URL. So this is my stable link to my resource. So File, Save again. And then when I X out of this, I have my citation selected. I can come down and make sure it looks the way it should look, where it says contract number. So I've got to fix something here. So I come back in here. Not sure why it's calling it a contract. Contract number, document number, report number. Okay, so I'm going to delete this here and come down, stick it under report number because that's a data brief, and hit save, and we hope it works this time. So sometimes you have to do a little back and forthing with reports like this. There we go. That looks much better. So it's got all the pertinent information. Now that I have this in my library, something else I can do is either download the PDF here and save it, but just another hint, if there's no PDF attached, you can print to PDF and then save the PDF locally on your computer so you have everything in your library.